If you're trying to decide whether you should be heating or icing, one of the things to take into consideration is how long has it been since the injury occurred. If you just sprained your ankle, then icing is going to be the best thing for you. Icing where you're not having too much of a barrier between the ice and the skin is also going to be good, because that swelling is going to be on the exterior of the ankle as well. So initially icing close to the time right after an injury, and if that injury is more on the exterior, being able to put the ice more directly on is going to be the best thing for you. Some of the time what happens is we have an injury that's more of a muscle, that's not a specific injury related joint issue or a trauma in the moment, and it's a muscle that shows up a little while later. Maybe you wake up and that muscle is tight and sore, bothering you, in pain. One of the things you can do to check is to see if that area is hot to the touch. So if it's an area on your back that you can't reach, maybe having a partner or a friend, palpate the area next to it, see if that area is a different temperature than the area that's currently bothering you. If the area that's bothering you is warm to the touch, then likely there's inflammation, and you're also going to want to ice that. If the inflammation is in a muscle group, what you're going to want to do is put more of a barrier between that muscle and the ice. And the main reason for this is if you put the ice, if the inflammation is too far into the body in that muscle and it's not directly on the surface, then putting the ice directly on the skin is going to freeze that top layer of skin, and you're not going to be able to get the inflammation down in the muscle. So putting a barrier on the skin between the ice and the muscle that's sore is going to help get that cold to penetrate deeper into the muscle over time. Usually you're going to want to leave the ice on for about 20 minutes. A good analogy for this is like if you were cooking a chicken breast. If you cook the chicken breast too high, on too high of heat, it will cook the outside will get dry, and it will create a barrier so that the heat can't get deep enough into go all the way through the chicken, and you end up with the outside that's dry and the inside that's raw. Versus if you cook that chicken on a lower heat for longer, then the chicken will cook evenly all the way through. So creating that barrier between the ice and the sore muscle is going to have kind of that same effect. It's going to allow that cold from the ice to penetrate deeper into the muscle and really relieve the inflammation on the interior. A lot of times people will say, I've been icing and I don't feel like it's helping, and typically that's what's going on, is they've just put the ice directly on and they're not actually getting the full benefit of icing to reduce the inflammation. The option for heating is going to be if the muscle is spasming, if it's really, really tight. Sometimes, I wouldn't say after strain you're gonna wanna ice more, but once it's gone beyond that 72-hour time frame from when you initially injured it, that's more when you're going to want to start either just heating or icing and heating as an alternate.